Hi, everyone. I hope you are enjoying the summit so far. And I'm excited actually to talk about manifestation and how it's happened in my life and how great it actually is. And I also know that you don't have to go through all the stuff that I have been through. And I'm going to highlight some of the things. I did mention this in the talk with Jackie yesterday, but I'm going to go through it again, and then I'm going to talk about the magic of manifestation. So let me just, so if I go back and I'll tell you a little bit about my history in the cancer industry was I had melanoma in my 20s, and I had a lot of spots on my body, and so they kept removing them, and one did come back malignant, and it was cancerous. So I had surgery to remove that. And then I knew I was sick at that time, and I didn't know why. And it turned out after years of going to doctors and naturopaths, and no one knew what was wrong with me. They started to tell me it was in my brain, and that was just, I was imagining certain things. And it was my chiropractor that listened to my breathing and told me to go to the emergency and ask them to do an x-ray. And there they found a large mass in my chest, and I had 3.5 liters of fluid drained out of my lungs so that I could breathe again. And that was unimaginable. And I went through chemo and radiation for that. And my mom had breast cancer before me. And when I was just finishing my chemo, she told me hers had come back. And so we were both getting radiation at the same time. And then hers spread to her brain. And so then I became the caregiver, helping my dad with her and seeing her almost every day. And sadly, she did pass from that. And because I had radiation on my chest, I knew my increase for breast cancer had gone up. I had a lot of lumps in my breasts. And when I would hug someone, it would actually hurt me. And so when another lump came up, I said, what are my chances of getting a mastectomy? And without hesitation, they said, yep, no problem. And so that was a long process back then. And I also had 3 reconstruction surgeries after that. I had 2 cases of basal cell carcinoma, skin cancer on my body, and went through surgery just to remove those. And my dad had prostate cancer, and he had a surgery to fix that and ended up passing away from heart failure. And so then when this one happened, I was getting a lot of headaches last summer, and I am not someone who gets headaches very often. And so I knew something was wrong, and I was going to the doctor, and she was saying that everything was fine. And I went to a naturopath, and he put me on a lot of B vitamins. And then a few days later, I was talking to my sister-in-law, and she said, I'm going to take you to the hospital because she thought I was having a stroke. And so I wasn't having a stroke, but on October 2nd of last year, I was diagnosed with glioblastoma stage 4. And that didn't really have good news at that point. They told me it was a terminal cancer. And I was in a not great place at that time. I'm like, seriously? You've got to be kidding me with this. And it took me a little while to really come back and say, um, I saw other people's stories that they've been 20 years um, doing okay with glioblastoma. And I thought, well, if there's not much difference between those people and me, then hey, maybe I can do that too. And so I'm thankful it's been a year now. And why I'm sharing all this with you is because so much has happened in this past year with my own story that I wanted to share with you. And also know that if I've gone through all this crap, then there should be a good reason. And that's why I'm doing this conference or summit with you guys, because I want you guys to know that there is some good that can come from this. So I'm going to share that with you. And so I'm going to take you back to turning the invisible into the visible. And I felt invisible most of my life. And I was actually okay with that. And I didn't want people to see me. And when I was younger, my brother would have his friends come over and like hide under the table so no one would actually even see me. And, I was okay with that. And now in my life, when you're told you have like a terminal cancer, you think, well, there's no way I'm not going to share my story with people. And I can say, like, I don't know what the future will hold, but a large part of me does, because every single day I see my future and I feel like I know where I'm going, and I'm going there, that place. And I'm going up in my life. And I feel like you can do it too. And let me show you a few things of what you can do, and be thankful you don't have to go through 4 different cancers to have this happen in your life. And I can tell you some tips on how you can raise your vibration to get to this place where little things start to happen and you're just like, I'm not going to question why this is happening, but I'm just going to say thank you. Thank you for that $10 that I made selling this on Facebook. And thank you for this little thing. And the more you say thankful, it actually raises your vibration. So know that as well. And also removing doubt from your story. And I had a lot of doubt and fear in my own story. And moving forward in life, I kept putting myself in the past, saying, well, this happened back then. So now my future, that's probably going to happen again. And I was basing my future on my past. And you don't want to do that, because I definitely was there. Your future is your future, and it doesn't matter what happened in your past, because that's where you're going. That's what you have to believe. And the more you believe it and you feel that experience, the more likely it's going to happen that way, because you created that visualization in your mind. And I really want you to move forward with that. So I will really want you to tap into your own power, not somebody else's, your own power and no one else's. The more good things that are going to happen in your life, because you are the author of your own story, and you really can do this as well. So I want you to believe that it's possible, that this is the beginning of your story. And it might take you some time to tap into this power. It may not happen tomorrow, and that's totally okay. But if you do this visualization that I'm going to do with you at the end of this, then I know that one day something's going to happen and you're going to say, I don't know why this is happening, but it is truly happening for myself. And I'm very thankful again. So, healing my body was not something that I could do overnight, and especially not with glioblastoma. But I can tell you right now that I don't have stuff in my dustpan anymore, because of all these people that have helped me over the past year have really changed my life. And forgiveness is a big thing. So for me, a lot of it was around dating the wrong people and feeling like that was where I was at in my life. And um, I had a lot of fear around public speaking too. And Corby, who's talking at noon today, Mountain Time, she changed my life too, because we were talking about a relationship that I had. And I said, I also have some fear around public speaking. And she said, well, you can, would you rather be in that relationship, or would you rather be doing this and actually helping people? And I thought to myself, definitely would rather be helping people than being in that relationship again. And I just want to say, like I said it before, but if I can change one person's life or a few people's lives by sharing this, then it's definitely worth it for me to be doing this. So yeah, I did make some bad choices, and but I won't anymore. I've sorry, my nose starts running sometimes. Um, Real love and self-love is part of this journey, and when you feel that self-love within you, it's like it overflows, and the excess will flow to those around you that need a little bit of support too. And so when you're doing self-love or trying to help other people, just know that when you're full of love and loving yourself, then that, like I said, will overflow to those people, and it really will be worth it. And this journey I've been on, I didn't know where I was going, but I am very thankful for an ex of mine that I dated quite a few years ago. And I wasn't on Instagram because of stuff that was happening. And so he found me on Facebook and reached out to me and showed me, to this day, he's in another province, but he shows me like how worthy I am just by messaging me like every day, hair or no hair. It really didn't matter. But um, I just want you guys to know that too, that um, can't stop crying here. That you are beautiful just as you are today, right now, and feel that inside, that no matter what you look like, whether you have hair or you don't have hair, just know that you are worthy, just by being the person that you were born to be. And that is totally okay. So growing up, I know I said I felt invisible, but now I don't want to be invisible. I want people to see me. I want people to hear my message. And that is working through doing this summit, for example. And I was known as the shy girl growing up. And I didn't want to say something that would embarrass me, because then people would laugh at me or something like that. And with this manifestation skills, you're going to start having good things start happening in your life. And I'm going to share that with you guys. And for the past few years, I've been an entrepreneur, and it can get stressful. And I know last summer I was feeling pretty stressed about my work and not making enough. So that was on my mind. And I would see other people that were doing really well. And I thought, well, those people there, oh, it can happen for them, like that person and that person. And um, knowing that, oh, it could never happen for me. Yet, what's the difference between me and those people? There is not much difference in that. And I want you to understand too that that doubt is a feeling that I want you to just let go of and let it go and just know that I really want you to believe that these good things, that thing that you want, can happen for you. It's just a matter of uh, visualizing and feeling that feeling and knowing that it can happen for you. So I want you to basically have that thing. I want you to set your soul on fire for whatever it is that you really want. And you can do this. And I want you to think about, so we're doing like a little fortune teller thing. So maybe growing up or at some point, maybe you saw a fortune teller or a medium and they told you, there's a great relationship coming into your life, or talking to a past loved one. And I want you to know that it's not about the talking to a loved one, but some people are gifted with that. But it's more about creating that thing that you want. And I'm going to read out of my book a few things that have happened just since writing this book. And I remember having a part in my life where for 3 weeks I had ringing in my ears for 3 weeks. And I started to worry that this was going to be my life. And a woman I was working with said, well, you're just changing your frequencies. So your body is adjusting to a new frequency. And it did go away at some point. And this magical stuff has started to happen. So did you want to do a visualization with me? And basically, I just want you to close your eyes for a minute. And I want you to think about that thing that you want in your life. So for me, it was hearing those words that you're cancer free. And I would visualize that. So whatever it is that you want in your life, I want you to see that thing that you want. And most importantly, I want you to feel how happy that makes you feel, and that you see that smile on your face growing because you know that this is happening. And just butterflies you can visualize, and just knowing that that is what you want in your life. And I want it to make you smile. I want you to really feel like that thing is happening in your life. And at this very moment, it is happening for you. And I want you to soak in that feeling and let it absorb throughout your body. Breathe it in, and then slowly open your eyes. And if you felt the shift inside of you, where you know you have that feeling and that thing did happen for you, there's no reason why you can't feel that right now in this moment. And let it soak in and feel like that is truly happening for you. And what I want you to do with this exercise is do this on a daily basis and visualize it, feel it, pretend it is really happening in today, and remove any doubt that it's not going to happen for you. And you'll see over time that good things will start to happen for you in your life. So, and then the feeling part is the key there. So I want you to do me a favor, and you can take a picture of this screen if you like, and I can do like a thumbs up kind of thing, and take a picture, because I want you to know that this can happen for you. And when something does happen for you down the road, I want you to tag me on Instagram if you're on there at Go with West, and share the good news that something did happen for you in your life, because I can promise you it's going to be absolutely amazing. And I'm going to share with you just a few things in my book here that, and more things have happened since I finished my book, but just saying, like, I found the exact Wonder Woman glass for sale the same day I saw it on my Instagram account and bought it right away. I won an Amazon gift card knowing ahead of time that it would happen. I was looking for a cancer survivors podcast, and then a few days later, being connected with someone who not only wrote their book about her cancer stories, but had a podcast about cancer survivors. Not being able to find an editor that matched my vibe. And then the next day I found the perfect editor. Wanting a divider to have behind me on Zoom, like this one behind me. And I saw one and it was like $120. I'm like, well, that would be great if it was a little bit less. And so the next day I found this one for $20, the exact same one that I wanted. So I hope you guys like this. And I wrote in this book about a meal that I loved growing up. And then my brother ordered that meal for his birthday. And I've been in Edmonton for 6 years, and he had never done that before. And then talking about like EMF pendants coming into my life. And even that alone helped me bring in some extra income. And so all these things are things that since then things happen, and I just like laugh to myself, because I know it's manifestation that's happening in my life, and I don't want you to question that either, but just know that it can be really amazing, and you don't have to go through cancer 4 times to have this happen. You can start literally today to make this happen in your life. So I hope you guys let me look in here. So if you guys believe it, you can do it, just put a yes in the comments. And so I know that you guys believe that this can also happen for you as well. Right, guys? Okay. So then right now I want to share a few things that have worked for me as a cancer survivor. And I know it's going to be talked about later. Corby is talking at noon in an hour and a half about an emotional freedom technique, and that's going to be beneficial. And then tonight, Kim Smattis and Karen Quinlan are talking also about oils and aromatherapy and stuff like that, and how it can help your emotional state. And my favorite oils are some that I got from them and from other people. And this one is my favorite oil, frankincense. I took a course a while back, a holistic cancer practitioners course. And so I do know a lot, but I just didn't know everything. And this one, I remember writing that it crosses the blood-brain barrier and can go to the brain. So the people in the glioblastoma group, I use this by putting a couple drops in my hand, and then I'll put my thumb in here and actually put it on the roof of my mouth, and then rub the rest in on my wrist. I can also put it on my feet before I go to bed, but I do use this like several times throughout the day. Doesn't taste great, but you can, you put it on the roof of your mouth and then don't lick your roof of your mouth, you can do great with that. I also have this adaptive one that I just rub on my hands and breathe that in as well. And those are two of my favorites. I have a few other ones that Karen put together for me for my adrenals, obviously to help with stress. My adrenals were quite down. I still use it today to kind of give me a boost. I'm talking about going to the bathroom. If you have hemorrhoids or anything else that is bothering you, I swear you can buy a little step stool at the Dollarama or a store like that. And using that, it just changed my life, literally. And I remember before doing some drugs that would make me constipated for a week. And so that was not great. And right now, this has saved my life when going to the bathroom. And I also got a little bidet that I hooked up. Oh, my friend hooked it up for me, and that also helps. Also, hypnosis with Rayanne has truly helped me through radiation. It just kept me calm for whatever reason. It was just talking to my subconscious mind and really, really helped me. Movement, I walk almost every day to get movement into my life. And one of the oncologists actually said, well, you're healthy, you're fit, you know, you move and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I do as well. Meditations, Danielle, my friend, is going to come on tomorrow, and she's going to talk about that. We used to meet as a small group and do meditations on Sundays together, and that really helped keep more calmness in my life. And I found it relaxing and helped with stress for sure. Earthing is what I talked about in the book as well. It's, you know, you can take your socks off in the summer and go in the grass, or if you're in a grassy area, you can do that too. It just helps ignite goodness in your body. And actually, scientifically, they've actually proven that it helps with time frame changes. Like if you're flying somewhere, it actually helps with that too, reduce that. And I've done it a lot myself, and it has helped me. I'm on a mostly vegan diet at the moment. I do have chicken sometimes, and so I might reduce that down. It's just cooking is not my favorite thing, so this has been okay. It's just a matter of like, am I getting enough protein into my diet? And so that's why I added a little bit of chicken back in. Journaling has definitely helped me with my book as well. There's a lot of stuff in here that may not have been in here if I hadn't journaled through my process. And I don't journal every day, but a lot of times I do. And I really, it's another way of getting my emotions out of my body, and thinking that this tumor was actually on my emotions center of my brain. And I just think, like, seriously, is this really happening? And now whenever something is bothering me, you know, that thing you think about 50 times during the day, you can actually just journal it out or talk to somebody about it, but get it out of your body. You don't want it to stay in there. That's what I used to do, and I don't do that anymore. Natural products have been a part of my life for quite some time. Laundry soap, dishwashing soap, hand soap, any of those things. And I also use a spa brush. I had one before during my last cancer, and I would just rub it in circles up my arms and my legs, always moving towards your heart is the right way to move that. So it's your circulation moving, your blood flowing and stuff like that. So If you guys have any questions, pop them in the chat and I can answer those for you too. And just want to say thanks again for joining me on this day 2 of the summit. And I hope you learned something there about manifestation. And like I mentioned, it's the feeling that and removing any doubt that it may not happen for you that really makes the difference there. And you'll see magic will start happening in your life. And those are a few tips for you guys. And I hope that you use them as well if you're going through cancer. And yeah, so thanks again. And Corby will be on here in an hour and a half and to talk about emotional freedom technique. And thanks, guys. I see some hearts and stuff coming in. And we'll see you then. So thanks, guys. We'll see you later.